My wife is still sleeping. It's currently 6:30. That's why I came downstairs. It's raining and I just would love to read some books aloud. And I was sitting there, but the wind is really strong at the moment. It's raining and I don't want to just be sitting there for too long and potentially getting a cold. So I came to this corner. This is actually right next to this entrance, and people might come out and find me very weird. Squatting here. I'm actually squatting here. See? And I'm about to read this English novel aloud. Read books aloud. Alright. I already started the chapter 3. Hello. Okay, let me see. He's a doctor, but he only put a $5 bill in the offering tray. And Helen, who saw my astonished face and thinks she knows everything, said to me, "Yes, can you imagine? What kind of a man is that?" I didn't say to Helen, I could have married that man, a good man. I didn't say, was it fate that I did not? Or was it because I didn't know I had a choice? And I didn't admit to her, maybe I made a mistake, such a simple mistake, saying no to one, yes to another, like choosing fish in a tank. How can you know which one is good, which is bad, until you have tasted it? Even if I told her, she wouldn't understand. Our thinking is too different. Her head is still back in China. It's like this. When she bought that fish for dinner, I said to her, "Ah, do you know what happens when fish are 3 days old?" And right away she said, "They swim out to sea." What? For nearly 40 years, I have told people Helen is my sister-in-law, but she's not. I have told people she's the wife of my brother, Kun, the one who was killed during the war. This is not the truth, but I did not say this to deceive anyone. The truth was too complicated to tell. Wow, I love it. I can't wait to find out. No one would understand even if I could explain it all. That brother I said was killed, in truth, he was only my half-brother, related not even by blood, just by marriage. He was the son of my father's second wife, the one who died before my mother took her place. So we were never close with that part of the family. And this half-brother, Kun, did not die in the war. He died before the war. His head chopped off in Changsha for selling 3 boats of clothes to the revolutionaries. Oh my God. This was in 4638 by the Chinese calendar, a horse year, when people stamped their feet and became reckless. By the Western calendar, I don't know. Maybe it was 1929, maybe 1930 or 1931. In any case, before I met Helen. But if I said these things, then I would have to explain that my half-brother was not really a revolutionary, that in truth, he protested with angry foot stomping at first. Then finally desperate cries on his knees, telling them he did not know his late-night customers were revolutionaries, bragging that he cheated them by charging them a ridiculously high price, laughing that the clothes was of poor quality. The Kuomintang killed him anyway, as a lesson that others could profit by. But how could I ever reveal this, that a member of my family meant to cheat his customers? No, all I could say was, many people were being killed at that time for any little thing. No one needs to know that we all saw the danger, that my half-brother was being foolishly greedy. Even his real wife thought this. She never wanted to go to Changsha in the first place. I can't I didn't expect to read a word Changsha here. That's where I went to high school. I feel I'm more related to this story now. I yeah. But if somebody asked me where she is, I couldn't say. After her husband died, she wrote and told us what had happened. But after that, we heard no more about her. Only that there was a flood where she lived and so many bloated bodies that people along the shore had to flee inland to escape the stink. So maybe that sister-in-law also drowned and floated down the river and out to the sea. Or perhaps she changed her name. Maybe even changed her mind and became a communist. And today is living somewhere in China with a different name. If I said all this, people might think that was the end of the story of my half brother, and I would have to lie to agree. He is dead. His real wife is gone. There's no more to the story. No surprise happy ending. And for several years that truly was the end of him. Oh, sometimes within our family we told a tale about a bull howling at the crescent moon, thinking it was his own horn caught up there, and everyone knew who we're talking about, the fool who climbed all the way up to the sky, thinking he could pluck down a star, only to fall and leave behind his life. We did not mention Kun's name. It was dangerous to know anyone who had rubbed shoulders with the Marxist. It didn't matter that Kun was already dead and not really even a revolutionary. But then my half-brother went on to have many other lives. When the Japanese took over Shanghai in 1937, my uncle pretended to welcome them to his textile shop. My own nephew was educated in Japan, now lives in Changsha, married to a Japanese girl. And then my half-brother took on another life. When the Japanese lost in 1945 and the Kuomintang came back, my uncle said, my poor nephew, Kun, he was a Kuomintang hero, died in Changsha. And when the communists took over in 1949, the first story came back. Only by then, uncle was dead. So it was the old aunt who said that my half-brother Kun was a big revolutionary hero, gave good quality clothes to the underground students at no cost, of course, except to his own life. When I came to this new country, I thought I could finally forget about this half-brother Kun who had died so many times in so many ways. It was too confusing to explain over and over again who was related to whom, which half-brother by which marriage, what year this happened according to the Chinese or the Western calendar, what happened to that sister-in-law, why we changed our minds so often about the Japanese, the Kuomintang, and the communists. How could I explain such a story to the imaginary immigration authorities? They wouldn't understand. They knew only one kind of government. They were always asking me all kinds of confusing questions. Why does it say you are born in 1918 on this paper and 1919 on this one? Why do you have no papers for marriage, no papers for divorce? Did you contract worms in China or in another country? When I came to this country, I told myself, I can think a new way. Now I can forget my tragedies, put all my secrets behind a door that will never be opened, never seen by American eyes. I was thinking my past was closed forever, and all I had to remember was to call Formosan China, to shrink all of China into one little island and never seen before. I was thinking, nobody can chase me here. I could hide mistakes, my regrets, all my sorrows. I could change my fate. Oh, I was not the only one who put away old things to suit new circumstances. People from our church, that schoolmate with the pockmarked face, Ling and his wife, even Helen, They all left something behind: old deaths and bad beginnings. Elderly mothers had sick fathers, arranged first wives, and too many children. Superstitions and Chinese calendar destinies. Even I was scared my old life would catch up with me. But then China turned off the light, closed the door, told everyone to be quiet. All those people there became like ghosts. We could not see them. We could not hear them. So I thought I really could forget everything. Nobody could get out to remind me. But then Helen wanted to come from Formosa. I had to let her come. She told me I had a debt from many years before. Now I had to pay her back. So I told the US immigration officials in 1953 that Helen was my sister, born to one of my father's other 5 wives. And once she was here, I couldn't tell our church friends that my father had 5 wives. How could I say that? I was the wife of a minister. So I said that Helen was my sister-in-law from a long time ago, once married to my brother Kun, a big Kuomintang hero who died during the war. Too bad. I could not use the real story why Helen should come here, why I had to sponsor her. That was even more complicated to explain. I have told this story about Helen being married to my brother so many times, even Helen believes it now. She tells people who ask about those old days, "Oh, I had a big Western wedding. Winnie with my maid of honor. Too bad he died so young." She says this even though she has been a citizen for many years and nobody can send her back. And Helen has told stories about me so many times. I sometimes believe they are true. That Jimmy was my first and only husband. That she introduced him to me in Shanghai. She was a witness at my wedding, a big Chinese wedding. No one would believe me now if I said Helen is not my sister-in-law. She is not related by blood, not even by marriage. She is not someone I chose as my friend. Sometimes I do not even enjoy her company. I do not agree with her opinions. I do not admire her character. And yet we are closer perhaps than sisters, related by fate, joined by deaths. I have kept her secrets. She has kept mine. And we have a kind of loyalty that has no word in this country. So you can imagine my anger when Helen told me in her kitchen, right after that fish dinner, that she has decided to let all my secrets out. Oh, this is great. This is crazy writing. I loved it. I love this story. This is more complicated than I thought. This is more sophisticated writing than I imagined. I'm learning a lot. I'm taking in all the nutrients from the author, all the spirits. Thank you so much, Amy Tan, for writing this book. I think the rain stops. I'm going for a quick run. Thanks for reading with me.